At New Canadians, we provide information and resources for newcomers to Canada to help them succeed here, to find information related to employment, settlement, and lots more. And that's why this partnership with Magnet, it just perfectly ties in with our mission as well. Um, First of all, of course, let me welcome Daisy, who's joining us now for the panel discussion part of this session. Daisy, as I mentioned earlier, is an award-winning coach and also the author of a book, No Canadian Experience A. And of course, she will be delving more into how she's been working with newcomers, how she's been coaching them. And Mark, you will be bringing lots of insights of sharing the information through Magnet Bootcamp as well. So, Daisy, any comments before we get started? If you want to share a little bit more about yourself so that the viewers know you?
No, I'm just happy to be here to listen to Mark and to learn some new information and then to share the knowledge that I have. So thank you so much for inviting me today.
You're welcome. Now, let's get started with this. Mark, you mentioned that AI literacy can contribute to one's professional growth as well. More and more companies are looking for people to have the basic knowledge at least to get started with and to be able to navigate these tools. But for newcomers who are new to a country, who are also exploring a whole different culture and a whole different space and looking for jobs, who, like I said earlier, may not even have Canadian experience or minimal local experience, how is it that they can use Gen AI tools? I think my first question would be more like a two-parter. What would be some tools that you would also recommend for the viewers, newcomer job seekers, that they can get started with? And for some who might be a little overwhelmed or do not have enough experience using these tools, what are some tips that they can get started with? Mark, if you could maybe get started with a list of some tools that you would recommend. And Daisy, I'd come to you for your learning or your observations with the newcomer community. Where do you think they lie when it comes to being their AI literacy? So, Mark.
Yeah, so it's actually a really exciting space, and there are a lot of tools that are evolving. So even tools that existed, for example, before November 2022 that help support career development. Even if you were to look at LinkedIn, there's new functionality being released, a lot of other tools that are in the kind of career matching and so on space are evolving. So even at Magnet, our core tool, we're adding a lot of generative AI functionality. We've also at Magnet partnered with a new partner to develop a new tool we haven't released yet. I could show you a really quick 2-minute kind of preview of it if you want, but it's going to it's completely built from the ground up. So one of the things that we're seeing is generative AI is being used to augment tools that existed before November 2022. But then there's a whole new wave of tools that will start coming out probably in the next 6 months to a year that were built from the ground up with just generative AI. And that's going to be really interesting because I think it's a little bit of a paradigm shift. So I'll give you an example. And if we have time, maybe at the end, I could show you for even 2-3 minutes. But one of the challenges, for example, for a newcomer coming into Canada, what are the job titles? So we all have in our mind, like maybe a job title that we think we're a fit for, but there can be a wide variety of job titles that actually have the skills that I could actually bring to a job. And sometimes people get stuck in maybe just searching on Indeed, for example, or other job tools by title. And that's always been a bit of a challenge for people to find where do we fit in, right? The new tools are able to take, and I can show you this later, but we can take a resume of an individual, identify all the skills, experiences, and background, understand their preferences, and then compare it to all of the jobs in a certain region that are available plugged into the platform. So we could take all the jobs, and it's comparing not title to title, like we've traditionally done job search, but it's comparing skills that I have as a job seeker to skills that that are being requested by. So that's a really exciting to me. I'd love to hear Daisy's comments, but that's a really exciting kind of paradigm shift of being able to get beyond like title searching and matching, which I think is really important. So that's one. Number two, I think that employers for a while, and I've talked to a lot of employers, and another thing I'm excited to talk to Daisy about, but employers are concerned. They want to understand maybe what your core language skills are, and they often do that in an application through a resume or cover letter. Employers are saying to me now that, all of the resumes and cover letters are now, using generative AI. And I'm talking to employers about how that actually is potentially positive, because we can actually help newcomers be more productive more quickly in roles because of the use of these tools. So the fact that they're using it in the resume, you may want to be, and I'm not exactly sure. I'd love to hear Daisy's opinion on how we present properly to an employer. But also it's very exciting because I think it's going to open up a whole new opportunity for newcomers as they're transitioning into, for example, Canada, as they're learning, maybe increasing their competency in English, etc., where they're able to be more productive using these tools and work in an environment. And you saw from the study that I showed that junior talent is being hired into more senior roles. So that's happening outside of kind of the newcomer area, but I think it could potentially, as employers become more open to this, and part of our job is telling them to be more open, it will help people transition more quickly. So excited about that as well.
Mark, you were able to kind of also share the perspective of employers. Now, from Daisy, if you could share more from your interactions with newcomers that you train, what would you want to share about, where they lie when it comes to using AI for job search, or how you're able to use the platforms to help them increase and get better opportunities?
Yeah. Well, the thing about AI is that it does help in, it's a productivity tool. And a lot of people get concerned, and Mark alluded to that earlier, that some people are thinking AI is going to take away my job. No, AI is going to help you to be more productive. And when it comes to a newcomer, for example, AI can help in terms of, remember, you have skills, and we talk about transferable skills. So you might want to apply for a job. And as Mark was saying earlier, it might not have the same title. But if you're able to copy and paste that job posting into, say, ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or whichever one, and also copy and paste your resume there as well. And I would advise you, from a privacy concern, you don't need to put your full name or address or anything. You can dump that information into any of these tools and use prompting to ask to say, analyze this job posting. How do I measure up? Or what skills am I missing? And then it gives you, the output. But then the onus is on you as well to go through everything, because generative AI hallucinates when it makes things up sometimes. So you have to make sure that it is speaking directly to you. It is analyzing your experiences. It's not adding anything that's not you. And when it comes to say employers, yes, and some employers are getting concerned that, yes, people are just sending resumes for every opportunity and all of that. No, you can make yourself stand out by really using the information, because that's what AI is. It has tons of information. Use it to analyze your situation and be specific in terms of what is it? What are the top skills that this employer is looking for? And do I have them? And if I don't have them, where can I learn some quickly? And you think in terms of Coursera, Udemy, edX, they're offering free and paid courses that Google itself, right now I'm doing a course from Google AI Essentials, because I need to be ahead of the clients I work with, whether they're newcomers or whether they're regular Canadian. So it's a great time now for AI. And it is, yes, we talk about the bias that is inherent in it, but it's also, I would call it an equal opportunity platform, meaning you can put your information there and it gives you something that you can work with.